Hello everybody and welcome to KWT's Email Management Methods module. So there are 5 and only 5 actions that you can perform on every single received email. They are delete, delegate, do, respond, and defer. If you can think of any others, please do let us know in the comments. Each of these actions should conclude with a delete action. So after you have delegated, done, responded, or deferred, the email should be out of your inbox. So let's take a look at the first, delete. While it is preferable to physically delete the item when you are done with it, I do understand that there is often a requirement to hold on to emails for future reference. So delete can actually involve moving the email to a PST file or an archive section as long as it is removed from the inbox. And this goes for the delete action as well as for the follow-up delete that you are expected to do after each of the other methods. Don't be afraid to delete, especially with those items that you know for a fact do not affect you and will not affect you. And remember, the world is not going to end if you delete an email that you might need later. Not only do you have a couple of weeks to change your mind where you can restore it from deleted items or trash, but you can usually get the sender to resend the email if you've waited too long and if you truly need it. Delegate. Make use of your team. Let other people step up and take responsibility for things. This is a great way to encourage your team to grow and try new things. Be there to support them, but hand the task over and let them run with it. Now, you should always do a soft handover. The delegation act should include a brief preface to the person explaining what you expect them to do with the issue. Just forwarding the email on to someone without any explanation is going to result at worst in a missed task or at best questions that you're going to have to answer later. So don't just throw the issue over the wall by forwarding it on to someone. Forward it on with clear expectations of what you want that person to do. But once you've done that, remove the email from your inbox. Delete it or file it away. The do task. These are emails that can be acted on by you within 2 minutes. You may come up with your own guideline, but I find 2 minutes is a great guideline to determine whether you're going to do the action right away or move on to the defer option. So these are the quick turnaround items, something you can do with very little effort, very quickly, and then get the email out of your inbox. And keep in mind, by delaying 2 minutes to perform this task, even if there's a high priority email waiting further down your inbox, you're not going to have a great impact by delaying getting to that high priority email by 2 minutes. If the do item turns out to take longer than expected, and this happens, then you switch it over to defer, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. This method also goes a long way to impressing people because your response time to them is going to be very quick, and people like that. Respond is really just a special form of do, but I think it's worth mentioning separately. Many emails can be handled with just a quick answer, a yes, a no, or a simple response. Again, this is a quick win. It gets an email out of your inbox, and the user on the other end will be totally impressed that their question did not sit in your inbox for 2 weeks before they get a response of yes, no, or maybe. And finally, defer. This is the fallback option. So if you cannot fully deal with an email using one of the previous 4 steps, then you will defer it. Now, this doesn't mean deferring it forever. It doesn't mean it goes into a black hole where you will never find it again. You are going to implement certain processes that make sure that does not happen. So you can turn the email into a calendar if there's a specific date noted that this thing needs to be dealt with on, or you can turn it into a task, or you can file it into a special set of subfolders that you monitor on a regular basis. Now, that monitoring could be every 5 minutes, every 5 days, or every 5 years, but there is a set time period for monitoring each of the folders in this set of subfolders. And we will talk about this in a great deal more detail in the future modules. But the point is, you can quickly get this email out of the inbox so you can continue to move through the other new items. And you can be confident that the email won't become lost in the shuffle. Your priorities are constantly shifting, and it is very tricky to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. But the processes that we can put into place to handle with these defers will help you make sure you don't lose anything in the process. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about this or anything to add to these 5 methods of dealing with emails in your inbox, please do share them in the comments. And we'll see you in the next module when we start talking about some of those processes that we'll need to define to work towards Inbox Zero. This concludes this module.